Thank you so much. Well, welcome to this day's last talk before the award, before the social event tonight. And let me introduce to you a lovely lady from another community yet. And Lenny comes from Scotland, originally from the Ukraine, and she will tell us something about a thing we might relate to, pulling off a whole new CMS within 9 months, which sounds astonishing. It surely is. Lenny has been for a long time in the board of directors of the Drupal Association and has been now on the team that pulled the whole thing off. Please welcome on stage, Lenny.
Hello, hello.
Don't forget to ask questions in the app and rate the talk afterwards. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Right, let me grab that clicker. So, hello everyone, I'm Lenny, and it's absolute pleasure to be here with you and to see lovely faces of fellow open sources. Some of you might be thinking like, okay, we came here to NeosCon, why are we talking about Drupal, right? But I think that it's very essential that we do not divide as much, because we are all open source, as I say, and given that we are living in very interesting times, challenging times, it's essential for us to stand our ground together and represent open source as one. So, and obviously, like, you know, that's one of the reasons. And another reasons, we Drupalers really like to brag about cool things that we give to the world and to the community. So there is two things about that. So yeah, we will be talking today about the power of the community and about how we built the CMS in 9 months. So when did it all start? And it starts, a long time ago in the galaxy far away. Oh, well, almost, right? Actually, it started at DrupalCon Portland last year, 2024, on May the 6th, when when Dries, who is, father, creator of the Drupal as such, he made an announcement that we are about to build new thing, new product. And yeah, how did it all start? when I'm talking about like that was the beginning, don't get me wrong, I do mean the beginning. Because we did not have any specs. We had like very raw data from the development teams, from the experts that were saying like, oh, cool, I like the idea. How are we gonna do that? Who knows? What will be the timeline? Well, let's set a target for 9 months. We did not have at the time roadmap, so we pretty much were at the ideation phase. And we also had to onboard the team who will be in charge of the product ideation, of the creating roadmap as such, as well as the ones who will be leading the different work tracks, as we call those, and will be responsible for certain milestones that will be delivered as part of the first release of the CMS. So, how did it all start? It was just the idea of making Drupal more fun and easy to play with, which I still remember. It was the case. I've been with the Drupal community for over 10 years now, right? And I remember when at my first event, which I was just talking about a couple of minutes before, which was in 2014, back in Ukraine, in Lviv. I remember talking to this girl at the event, and she was like, imagine, like, you know, my boyfriend is actually a developer. I have no idea, like, what I was doing, but I decided just for fun to install Drupal and to create my own website. And just in a day or so, I had like some sort of a skeleton, and she was very, very happy about herself. She was proud of herself. And I was looking at her thinking like, yeah, that's really cool, isn't it? It does sound great. But as it happens over time, things get complicated. And Drupal grew into still great product, but very complex. That requires serious background in order to build something, and that is suitable for enterprise projects, suitable for solution for complex problems, like making complex integrations possible, which is great. Is it fun though? Well, maybe to some extent, if you are a technical person. So that's where we decided that it's time for a new era of Drupal. And we divided basically Drupal into 2 products. First is Drupal Core, which is still pretty much for enterprises. And then there is Drupal CMS, which is lightweight version, low-code, no-code solution suitable for marketeers, suitable for the content editors, and so on and so forth. And it is actually fun to play with. So that was the idea. And from that idea, we actually had decided like that, yeah, why not? So over 9 months, we were working together in order to build the Drupal CMS, the first version of it. And we actually did release it in January, on the 15th of January, which is the birthday of Drupal. And we had celebrations all over the world. We were getting together, having drinks, having cakes, having cookies with little Drupal logos on them, and it was good fun. However, we did realize, okay, so that's just the first version. Why should we stop with creating something cool? Why don't move forward with innovation? And as such, at this very point, we have 3 high priority initiatives that being created by the Drupal Association. And it's Drupal CMS, obviously, so we are still moving forward with that. Drupal template marketplace and Drupal AI. And if we're talking about Drupal CMS, so the first question is why? Why choose it? Well, as I already said, it's open source, it's fully built by the community, it's fully open to the public, it's low-code, no-code solutions that can be used by marketers and content editors. We have also pretty cool AI assistant that I will be talking about like a little bit later. And we have Experience Builder, which simplifies the way how you interact with the content and how you just basically to make things easier for the people that are setting up the website. Also, we have multiple templates available as the starter kit, and it's easy still to scale up as the core, like the basement of the Drupal CMS is still Drupal core. A little bit more details, actually, because I'm talking about the product itself quite a bit, but how did we do that? So, as a matter of fact, from the Drupal Association point, I was the person that was helping out to collaborate with contributors. So what we did, we shouted out to our community saying like, okay guys, so we have this great idea, but we need your help. We defined some of the deliverables, some of the milestones that we want to have in the version 1.0. And we reach out to the people that's, just fill in the form, let us know if you're able to cover it, if you want to start to be the lead, or you can also have capacity to both be lead of this track and do the actual coding, prepare the functionality, and release it. The next stage was obviously reviewing all the ambitions that we had, and we had plenty of those. And that's what I love about the community the most. That if there is something interesting, if there is something cool, people are easy to, get involved. We formed the teams that were in charge of all these deliverables. They were working pretty much, we had like regular catch-ups in order to make sure that we are on the same track. But other than that, they were fully in charge of the process, which is great as well, because you don't want to be the one who is like standing and looking over the shoulder and checking every move. And as such, as I say, we, with help of the community, with that level of involvement, we were able to achieve release of the Drupal CMS within just 9 months from the stage of the ideation and to the release of the version 1.0. We are looking forward to actually releasing version 2.0 this autumn in Vienna, where we have our event, DrupalCon. And it will be actually containing the experience builder. So this is like a little bit of the, it's not there yet, so stay tuned, but it will be cool. And we continue working at the same way. But as I said, if you have one cool thing that worked out, you want to do more. So that's how we thought about the idea of the marketplace. Because, so you have currently like one solution, one skeleton that you can use. But the reality is that people are not wanting one single, similar, perfect thing. No, they want different looks, they want different functionalities. And what we want to achieve is to keep it simple and keep it lightweight, right? Because if you put too much functionality, once again, you overcomplicate things, it's getting boring, it's getting just too much. So that's where idea of the marketplace kicked in. And we announced it in Barcelona, I believe, at the event last autumn, in September or October. And we started with the research this time, because it's very necessary to, before like jumping into the thing, also to try and get the insight from the community, from the target audiences. So at the moment, we are still researching the marketplace. And we are about to make a decision whether we move forward with it in about a month. But that was really cool, actually, thing, like, and try evaluating, because we started to think about, like, okay, but who do we reach out to? How do we make sure that we hear different types of people, different personas, if you will, in order to make sure that we just not going blind into all of that? And that's basically how the evaluation started. We had Slack prompts to the community. We have quite a few surveys that we sent out to different people, including outside of the Drupal community. So basically contacts that we are getting like at the events, quite like this one, right? Because like promoting Drupal, like we're trying to be at the different events. Like this last week, I was at the AI Summit in London. where we were talking about Drupal, talking about our AI assistant for the Drupal CMS, and so on and so forth. And that way, we actually can reach out to people and check, like, okay, guys, what do you think about that? You know very little about Drupal. So if you would hear this idea, how would you feel about it? And so far, it works out. So when we are talking about site template, so we have so-called recipes, we have the theme, and we have relevant demo content. And when we're talking about the recipes, we're pretty much talking about like the sets of the functionalities. So you can basically, what we have in mind to have, let's say, template for the travel agencies, template for the, I don't know, like marketing platforms. And like when you're landing actually at the Drupal CMS, you can choose from like pre-selected sets of the both functionalities, looks, and relevant demo content. Now, why Drupal Marketplace? Because we did realize that Drupal ecosystems, like, once again, it's too complicated. It needs more accessible, faster ways to build with Drupal, because we did realize that we were not keeping up with times. You know, when you have like so many competitors on the market, by the end of the day, people just like going for the simpler to build, cheaper to build. That's also one of the very factors that you have to take into account. Also, marketplace should be reusable. So if you get the template, you can build on it again and again and again. So if you are the smaller sort of the agency, you can improve it, you can use it as it is, and you provide like easy adoption, and you can that way grow contributions, because if you like the template, you can also become a maintainer of it. And of course, the working group that we created solely for the research and hopefully for the implementation at the next phase of the project. We want to make sure that our solution is sustainable and it is trusted, because trust of the community is of the very importance to us. Now, I told you about the Drupal CMS a little bit. I told you about Marketplace a little bit. And it's time for the third element, which is AI. As I told you already, like just last week, I was at the AI Summit in London, and you know, it's eye-opening how many things are happening. I do realize it was like not even the biggest event. It was around 4,500 people still, so quite big. But you see so many different solutions in different areas that it's quite fascinating. But when we are talking about the AI, what we also want to keep in mind that it should not break your boundaries. So that's why we, in our solution, what we are trying to do, first of all, we use approach human in the loop. So when you are looking into the opportunities that are available, like when you interact with the AI assistant, you should be able to review the results of its work. But when we are talking about Drupal AI, I have a short video recorded by my colleague here, Jamie, and he is actually a co-founder and the architect of the Drupal AI solution. So I would like to share the little hello from him with you.
Hello, my name is Jamie. I am the co-founder of a company called Freely Give, and I'm here to talk about Drupal AI and the features available in the Drupal AI module and ecosystem. I'm a co-maintainer of the AI module. I've worked on the Drupal CMS AI track, and I've been working with the new Drupal AI strategic initiative under the DA. So if you go to the Drupal website, drupal.org, you'll see there's a new platform, AI, and you can see more information about the vision of it and the features. These are our core tenets of AI community collaboration, trustworthy governance, open source flexibility, and a fantastic innovation that's coming from the community itself. And this is the core of it, the AI module. It sits at the bottom. It has some tools and submodules in it that allow you to build AI applications. And then there's a huge ecosystem of other modules that support this. So in the core is an abstraction layer. This thing allows you, when you build your AI applications, to build it once, and then behind the scenes will allow you to connect to a whole variety of providers. And there's more and more that's supported. And those providers have their own AI models. And it's AI providers because it does more than just LLMs. It's also embeddings and vector databases and other more complicated things to do with like images and videos. So you can really know that when you build something on top of an AI, of the AI module and application, that it'll be future-proof to work with any number of new models and approaches that come out, including self-hosted ones on your own laptop, open source models, etc. One of the features is, there's a lot of them, but the big one is the chatbot that comes with Drupal CMS itself. And this is a chatbot that is connected to agents that are not just about search or talking to you, but can actually do things on your site. You can create content types, add fields, and make modifications to your site. There's more and more of these that are going to be coming. And behind this is a very flexible and powerful AI agentic orchestration system. It allows a non-developer to create agents, connect agents to other agents. Via something called MCP, it allows you to connect to other services like Slack or Jira, etc. And through Drupal, you can configure all these agents, get them working on a chatbot, ask them to do things, and have them automate a whole bunch of work for you. These can be free-flowing agents, can make decisions, or very specific workflows that start with an event and go through a specific pattern. Generally, they tend to be more reliable and better for very specific AI applications, and there is a number of them that we've built. I'll show you Workflows of AI is a website you can go to where there's a good 80 videos now of things with our workflows, like content moderation or transforming or web scraping, etc. AI-powered search is at the heart of the AI module as well. That allows you to talk to your data. You can index all of your content. You can search for things that sit outside of it, and it will understand the meaning of the question you've asked and generate you an answer, or re-rank the search results. So without any hallucinations, it can understand the meaning of your question and find you that content. And then there's some other additional features, such as AI image alt text, where it's something that is more on the edge. It just does a really great thing for you. When you want to have alt text, you can click a button, AI will generate that for you, it will give you some suggestions, and you can decide if you like it or not. Although there's a lot more to come with this accessibility and AI that we're aiming for. So you can see that at the heart is the AI core with a whole bunch of different providers. Then there's these more builder-like tools, we call them automators for workflow, the chatbots, the search, the agents. And these are tools we've made to allow you to build AI applications. And then there's lots of features. We're up to about 290 different modules that use the AI module in some way to do a whole variety of things. We have assistance in Seek Editor, so while you're making your content, it can help you write things. It can use agents behind the scenes. Here's an example of something where it's taking a look at your content and recommending things you can do to make it clearer according to an official score. There's AI translation that can translate things from one language to the other, but also can respect the brand and feel of that locale rather than simply translating word for word. And we have a ton more on our roadmap. We have some examples of using something we call Experience Builder that allows you to create components and landing pages in a really nice visual way. We're going to have some AI agents, and they're already half there, that will allow you to talk to the page, and it will build it based on description. You'll be able to draw pages, upload it. It will make it through a drawing, or even connecting it to popular tools such as Figma, and then having that design in Drupal. And these agents, they're very visual. As a non-developer, you can see them working together in what we call a swarm. There are a whole bunch of agents that are already here or planned in different areas, such as you can see the fact finder agent that can do data and insights, media variant generator, virtual assistants for creating things. And this is one example of a way that you can explore these agents. Here we have a Kanban board where you can have a task like go through my site, find all articles about Australian animals in some way, and unpublish them. And this series of steps, the first agent is a project manager that creates tasks for other agents that have different skills, and those will go through your site and enact those skills. It could, instead of unpublishing things, tag them so a human can go and follow it up later. And we have other drawing tools that allow you to have a very clear workflow so you can sort out your agents and how they communicate together. This one here was using Slack to, you send a message to a chatbot in Slack, and then it will go to your website and find that content and reply in Slack. And here's a place that we could use to build that. These all are things that are aimed at non-developers. Here you can see a very simple way to take the Drupal CMS AI agent and change it to make it do other things. You can just go in and change those instructions. Workflows of AI is one place where you can learn more, and we're going to hopefully have a lot more on Drupal.org. But this is a place where one of the developers who worked on the AI module, whenever he does a new feature, he puts it up online and describes how to build those things. So you can see pre-moderating content is one of them. More complex Seek editor assistance is another thing. And you can watch those videos and build them for yourself. And we're going to start working on tools that allow you to click a button and just try it out. So if you want to learn more about the AI module, the AI ecosystem, and the Drupal AI Strategic Initiative, come and join us on Slack. #AI in the Drupal Slack is one place that we are. #AI-initiative is another place for the initiative specifically. I'm Jamie, Freely Give. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you join us.
Yeah, and that's all nice and good and cool, but how did we do that? So for the AI, Jamie, for instance, he was working on the AI assistant from the very beginning of the idea of the definition that will be actually part of the Drupal CMS. But what about contribution? How do we get the community involved? So we actually are employing a little bit different approach for the AI these days. But it started as it always does. So there are the companies that are interested in developing it. We have Freely Give as a company that has actually manpower in order to implement it. So they are partially covering actually the time and resources for the Freely Give. And part of the time and of resources, the guys were contributing themselves. Right? And that's how we made that happen so far. Now, just 1 week ago, we actually made an announcement about the AI initiative. And we are changing for this part our approach. So what is different? If for any other initiative you can just contribute time and talent, here we made a requirement in order to make progress quickly that you have to contribute both money and resources. So that way, we actually will be able to keep moving forward, to keep delivering, and to keep up with majority of the AI solutions that currently are present on the market and available in different content management systems. So AI module, already covered that. And last but not least, as a nice part of the initiative that we launched, and that is also called to get people more involved, is Drupal AI Academy. So we basically just hosting a series of the different sessions where we will be talking about different aspects of the initiative, sharing it with the existing community, and hopefully we'll be also promoting it to the outside of the community, which I found personally pretty cool because that way you not only learn about what is happening in the ecosystem, but also can get new people involved. And therefore, I would say that our Drupal power, the main well, not that secret kind of a weapon, is a strong community. From the very beginning of my collaboration with Drupal community, I first heard this saying over 10 years ago, that you come for the code and you stay for the community. And for me personally, it couldn't be more true. Because since my first event back in 2014, after that, I started to help organizing events. I started to speak at the Drupal events. And now not only at the Drupal ones. And, well, if you get involved, you just be prepared. It's dangerous. You get sucked in, you never leave. And what do we do to keep actually our people excited, right? So we provide the idea of the thoughtful innovation. So we don't just like jump into conclusions, etc. We're trying to get the feedback from the community. We're trying to research the industry in order to actually understand what is the cutting edge and how we can provide better solution, hopefully technically as well, but from the point of the safe open web, what we can do in order to achieve that. Because we were always been and always will be, I strongly believe in that, fully open source. Then keep people inspired. Of course, we need to do that. And that's why we are trying to, on the regular basis, share the progress that we are making. That's why, like, we have Dries, like, 3 times a year now at the major conferences, sharing the information, what's new in Drupal. That's why we are promoting Drupal at the events outside of the Drupal community. And that's why we are sharing the knowledge. In order to show what we are doing, to get feedback as well, and to show people that they actually can get involved. And of course, recognition and gratification. So we are generous with the credits, and well, those credits are being awarded to the companies that do contribute. And the more credits you get, so basically if you are contributing, like, I don't know, the codes, like, say, 40 hours in the way of meaningful contribution to the major initiatives, you're getting 50 credits, which affects actually your reputation, your level at the search on the Drupal org, and so on and so forth. So you're actually getting also benefits in terms of the recognition by the community or by potential clients even. And just like that, that's time for the questions and answers. It's quite the change of the outfit. Look at you, look great.
There's an award show. I needed to dress for the occasion. Questions? Got it, right here. So there is a few questions. You've piqued some interest.
Well, that's good to know.
If you could do it all over again, from the beginning, what would you do differently?
Ooh. Honestly, I would start with like a little bit deeper research for the Drupal CMS. It all worked out, but it would be nice to start with a little bit more data, like same level of enthusiasm, but you know, data-driven. That would be really lovely.
A little less hurrah, a little more where are we going?
Because we are basically, you know, laying the rails in front of us, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are changing the approach.
Does sound like a hell of a ride, though. To what extent is Drupal building on top of existing open source solutions, or is it all custom development?
No, I wouldn't say that that's custom development. So I would say that we are trying to reuse the modules that are available where it is possible, improve them, instead of like, you know, being like reinventing the wheel. Mm-hmm. So we already, like, for instance, like from the point of numbers, if we're talking about AI, we currently have already 290 modules on Drupal.org. That's where the initiative actually started, because we wanted, like, okay, so many people are excited about that, so why we don't unite? Mm-hmm. And why not try to do something more meaningful, better together and achieve more? So, and same, basically, think about the search within the Drupal CMS. Think about like SEO module, like anything of it, any functionality. So we were analyzing existing modules, analyzing existing functionalities, and trying to make something better for this use case.
Mm-hmm. Then I have a question that I'm almost positive comes out of the core team. How many contributors did you have to accomplish all of this in 9 months, and how did you motivate them?
Oof. Well, as I say, like, our community, luckily enough, is quite enthusiastic. And like, I mean, to me, it was like, oh yeah, Drupal is getting fun again. And honestly, in a lot of cases, that was the same reaction, and that worked out pretty cool, pretty nicely. We had, if I'm remembering correctly from the top of my head, around like 15 tracks, so 15 deliverables that were to be part of the 1.0 version. So obviously, it was getting some back and forth, but yeah, we found like really good partners. We also have like this thing as Drupal certified partner, which means that you kind of a trusted partner. We know that you, pardon my French, but like throw in rubbish code, you know. So we were working with those people, and yeah. But in terms of the requests, like the submissions that we received, I think it was like from the companies, it was around 100 or so. And like currently at our Drupal CMS Slack, we have a couple of thousand people signed up to that. So
all we need is 100 people. Did you hear that?
yeah.
Is the CMS, formerly known as Drupal, still being developed, or how do you prevent that the forces split it into two products?
Yeah, actually, so we are in parallel developing, developing and maintaining both of the projects. We are releasing new versions of the Drupal core. We're not forgetting about that, as I say, so you cannot just simply get and abandon enterprise. That's illogical and that's good for business. Even though we are NGO, but we in direct, dependency from that. Obviously, we are developing Drupal CMS in order to actually create more opportunities for the agencies that are not quite at the level of the enterprise, and also to discover opportunities within the areas where we are still not there very much. Because if we're talking about Drupal, our strongest suits is higher education, government, and healthcare. And a lot of our contributors, actually, majority of them, are from the US. And as you can imagine, all three of these sectors in the US these days, let's call it, are in a questionable state. They are struggling, really. So this opportunity to discover, okay, so where we can deploy ourselves, where we will be successful, where we can build new area of influence.
And create value.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think, unless I'm refreshing, nope, nothing more came in. Someone would like to explicitly thank you for for sharing your insights with our community, and is loving the true open source spirit.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for having me. It's
hey,
absolute pleasure of mine. Cheers. Oh, that is so very sweet of you. That's so cool. Cheers.
Yeah.
Wait. I will not go away without a hug.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
All right. I'm a little unsure about the what's happening now.
Oh, well, we're going to have a little break.
Tiny little break.
Tiny little, because upstairs we are running very good, so we'll be here at 45 for the awards. So
that's in
keep
7
your
minutes.
Seats warm, and then there's going to be the award ceremony on the stage. See you in a bit.
Thank you. Oh, vote!
Don't forget to vote.